Hi, my name is Leyla Núñez, currently working at Colegio Emprender La Pinta, Lampa. This is to the northwest of Santiago. This is my 27th year teaching English as a foreign language, and I consider myself a very lucky teacher as I have worked in different contexts, from pre-K up, including universities. I'm a proud teacher, mentored by Martha Epperson, who later became a champion teacher and had the opportunity to mentor other teachers in exploratory action research, classroom strategies, etc. I also did some action research with George Mason University, teacher Bailey, PhD, and we published a book with the 13 experiences of teachers around the world. I also conducted research on gender learning objectives under the ARAS grant of the British Council. But what I cherish the most is being a classroom teacher. The school I work for is located in the middle of a demi-urban district called Lampa. If you see the school, it's in the middle of a village. But if you move 2 kilometers to the north, to the east, to the west, or to the south, you will find crops, you will find cattle, you can find trees, mountains, and many cities, many towns, little towns like Tiltil, like Batuco, that are more rural than urban. Nowadays, I'm teaching 7th graders and up to 10th graders. Emprender La Pinta school is a subsidized school with an important rate of vulnerability, which has got higher due to the current situation. So we have become a pillar of the social, economical consumption of our students. We are proud of our PIA program, which has always supported our teaching in the classroom, because we believe all students can learn English. Today, we are more worried about creating bridges so no student is left behind in education. If you ask me how important English is in our school, it is indeed. It's very important. We teach English to our students from pre-K, but we aren't a school aiming at becoming bilingual. We believe that English is part of our students' professional formation. We cover the Mineduc program, but we include added value. I mean, we also give opportunities to them to use English in other contexts. So when they finish school, they can use English in their lives. We offer them not only the compulsory hours of English, but also workshops under the HEC law and conversation clubs. And I cannot forget to mention our massive English days, where our students show their talents in English. I feel very proud that one of our students was chosen to participate in the Youth Ambassadors program. Unfortunately, she couldn't travel for the COVID-19, but what I liked the most was that it was our student who learned English in our classrooms. If you ask me about parents think that English is very important, so they are very supportive in that respect. Although there are many who judges you and criticize you and give you tips about how to teach better. But what can you do if children come with parents? And maybe you won't agree with me, but parents are part of the learning community. So we need to accept to work with the opposition. They have a word to say. So if you listen to and read or listen between lines, they have a message. And that if you listen to them properly, maybe they are right in certain aspect and you can adapt that idea into your teaching. I mean, doesn't mean that they are always correct, always right. The hardest thing to do nowadays when teaching virtually is to provide access to education to all our students. When the COVID-19 lockout began, the first thing we said, and I said, was that you cannot improvise online education. But we were sort of prepared because we were talking to the other English teachers and we said, okay, we have to be ready in case we have a second social explosion. So we had a plan B and a plan C. So when they asked us to teach virtually, we have had a plan already designed for this situation. So the first factor was the connectivity of our students. Because it's not only about affording internet, it's that sometimes they don't get sign up. So we had to create a chain of favors to support everyone in the community. For example, we created a YouTube channel. We have sent videos through Google Drive. Even some parents from different classes have downloaded those videos into flash drives and taken them to those students who don't get a sign-up. So it's a community work. But still, we think we need to do more. Regarding to how I feel about teaching virtually, it is a challenge. I have done it with adults, but with children it's different because you have to be very careful of everything, right? Because you need to make them feel comfortable in the virtual classroom. The hardest moment for me is when I ask my students to mute their microphones. This is because you see no reaction. You see only a black screen with names. So you don't know if they are there or not. Still, I imagine myself to be on television and I do my best. And I use all the tools of the program. I use Zoom to generate communication space. About my strategies, well, what I try to do is to adapt the concepts Martha Epperson imprinted in me. So I follow the same order. For example, I use anchor charts in the real classroom. Now I use an etiquette anchor chart when they enter the classroom, the virtual classroom. They see the etiquette, how to behave in class, what they are expected to do. I set expectations with them. After I set the expectations, I launch a poll to normalize the class, like asking what date is it, what day is it, what's the weather like today, what did we do last class, etc. So I give them sort of 15 questions they are answering while they are entering the virtual class. So when the 10 minutes are gone, the 10 minutes they are allowed to join in, I end the poll and we check the results together. And at the beginning, I had lots of mistakes. Now I'm reaching 78% of the students answering the questions right. The second thing I do is that I use this. I CCQ students using the chat box. What is that? I mean, I check their comprehension using the chat box. For example, I ask them, what do you have to do? Do you have to write a poster or complete a sentence? And in the chat box, they write complete a sentence. What's the word for? Or discover this word, choose the alternative. So I elicit their answers through the chat. Sometimes I ask volunteers to unmute their microphones and give the correct answer. I also use the reactions. For example, give me an applause those who need extra minutes. Or thumb up if you finished, you see? So they are using English all the time. I mean, it's like TPR, total physical response sort of. Then I try to stick to the I do, we do, you do model. So during my class, I model what they need to do. Then we do it together. And then in the worksheet, they practice that. That's their product. Once the class is over, they send me a picture of what they did in classes. So I can see an immediate product. When I finish the class, I upload the session to Google Drive and then to the English department channel, so they can see the class all over and all over again, I hope. Also, I use exit tickets. When the class is over, I do a fast mini quiz, so they can show me what they have learned. And then I have the idea of what I have to reinforce next class. We also create learning pills explaining what to do in the worksheets. So for those students who cannot connect and they need more instructions or more explanations, we record these learning pills, and we also upload them into the channel, and we send them through Google Drive and Flash Drive. I have to mention that as a department, we have worked shoulder to shoulder. So we support each other, we contempt each other, and we share decisions. And we decided to stick to a plan, believing that we have to expand the students' vocabulary. Then we had to set the language for them so they could be able to communicate certain things. And I think we have been very successful. My final words for you: keep the faith on yourselves. Nobody has taught you or me how to teach under these circumstances. So allow yourself to make mistakes. You are learning by doing as your students. When in need for ideas, count on someone who can give you ideas. From this moment on, you can count on me as well. A big hug to you all, especially to my colleagues, Fabi, Pao, Bea, and Nico. We rock, and you rock too.